All right, as promised, this will be the crash out video for why I chose to DNF the Priory of the Orange Tree. I hope you enjoy. It starts out somewhat mild and it just gets progressively more angry as I go through my feelings on why I decided this is a no. I would like to preface, I say this again at the end of the entire video, it's totally awesome if you have different feelings and perspectives than me. The last video that I uploaded, which was a much calmer version of what you're about to see, I loved the comments. There were people who loved this book, there were people who hated this book, there were people who pushed through and still enjoyed it, there were people who pushed through and still hated it. I loved how diverse all of our experiences were. I think that was so fun, and it was really enjoyable to communicate with all of you about your feelings on the Priory of the Orange Tree. But here's my crash out video. I hope you enjoy. It's honest, it gets very angry, it gets emotional, and I have my heated experience. This is the video of literally minutes after deciding to DNF this book, what I was feeling and my frustration and rage and anger. So here you go. I hope you enjoy if it's something you want to watch. No part of me is happy to say this because I really wanted to like this book, but I am DNFing the Priory of the Orange Tree. I was thrilled to read this book, okay? It is a monstrosity of a large book, but I can read large books. I don't have a problem with that. I've read Kingdom of Ash. That's a 1,000-page book, 200 pages more than this book. I've read other 800-page books, 600, 700, 800 pages. That's fine. I don't mind. Oh my gosh. I'm so disappointed in this book, and it's really frustrating. I've read about 300 pages, so this review, if you will, is only going to incorporate very subtle spoilers for those first 300 pages, not the whole book at all. I'm just going to tell you why I'm noping at 300 pages. The number of people who said that this was something that you just needed to like get through some of the slump in the middle and then it becomes like really epic and amazing. And I was like, so what I was expecting going in was that the beginning of this book would be fantastic, then I'd have a slump in the middle, and then it would end fantastic. And I was like, I can do that. That's not a problem. And then the first quarter of this was just like unnecessary. The first 250 pages, like I said in my last post, was like fine. It just didn't need to be that long. Why are we spending 251 pages writing about all of this story building, but it's not really happening? And now I'm at page 300 and I'm like, I can't deal with this. Mainly what just happened in the book I find so unacceptable, and that is why I'm DNFing. So yeah, this is just, what just happened is that one of the main characters that at the very beginning is described as basically being an assassin level type person. So I'm, like, oh, hello, is Miss Sardothian back? Like, okay, all right. Like, are we getting some a little bit of an assassin person in here? All right, cool. And then she literally saves another character from dying via dragon fire. And so I'm like, all right, she's not only a talented swords person, she is also a talented witch-like character with magic powers. I'm so cool with that, despite the fact that it's taking forever for us to get to that point. Whatever, she sounds cool. Then, at this point in time, that's 300-page mark, she's in the square, and this is, I kid you not, this is what it says. Page 297, at the top, it says, the war dance was calling to her. Blah, blah, blah. Like wind on fire, she flashed into the next wave of attackers, wielding her blades, and they fell dead around her. Okay, all right, drama. This character is a boss. She's killing a bunch of people in a crowd, trying to kill another person. Like, okay, all right, show us who you are. 2 pages later, and she fumbles so bad, she can't deal with one assassin, one cutthroat, one person. Successfully kills another of the characters. Failure. Just complete failure. She went from being boss, awesome, can fall from the rafters in the ceiling and slit a guy's throat before he even realizes she's there, take on one of the epic dragons who's a Western, right? So he's one of like the most powerful dragons, but she can't stop one random no-name assassin dude from firing a gun. Are you kidding me? No. And then, like, that's on like the whole epic, like, battle capable person. Literally right before that, let me see. The prince is an idiot, and he's like, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna help them fight. And the queen is like, you're stupid, like, you could die, that's a bad idea. And then, oh my gosh, where does it say it? For the first time, she saw how deeply, this is on page 299. For the first time, she saw how deeply in love he was, and it shook her. Those two characters have known each other for like 2 weeks. I don't know. Maybe it's been a little bit longer than that. No, it can't be. It can't be longer than that. They've barely known each other. And he just loves her so deeply. I'm like, I'm sorry. Is this a contemporary romance where people just fall in love instantly? Wait, what the frick? With this much depth and this much, like, it's not deep. You think it would be. But it's not. This much world building. You think I would care about these characters. I don't. I just don't care. We've had 2 main side characters die at this point. One of them was a little sad, but I don't know much about him because I didn't have that much time with him. We didn't have any emotional depth with this character. So did I care? No. Can I tell you his name? Nope, I've already forgot it. This character who just died now, I'm like, oh, well, that sucks for you that you're so incredibly stupid. You did this to yourself. Like, how am I supposed to care? There's just, and this is supposed to be like female empowering because we have a queendom. Except the queen is just like, can you make good decisions? Question mark? I'm just like, oh my God. So it's just, I have such a hard time. I don't know anybody's, well, I know some of the characters' names. Nicholas is the one I'm most curious about, but not enough to read, to read another, like, 500 pages? No. DNF. Which means I'm also DNFing this book, A Day of Fallen Night, because it's supposedly what happens 500 years before this. No interest in the rest of this series. I'm returning this book. If there's such good, gorgeous covers, like why? Why do you suck? Why? This one's going back. Gonna sell the other two. Here's the real question. What do I do about the bone season? I need you to tell me, what do I do about the bone season? Because look at how beautiful this cover is. Look at the gorgeousness of this book. And it's not as long. Is it better? Please tell me it's better than The Priory of the Orange Tree. Please tell me that I should just hang on and read the bone season, because this is so gorgeous, but I'm tempted to like just get rid of it. I'm honest. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. So what am I going to read next after this fantastic failure and a waste of weeks of my life? Because it's just like, one other thing real fast that I have to say that is also an indication that I need to DNF this book is that every time I put it down, I have no interest in picking it back up. I just don't. The thing that has kept me reading this book is A, the gorgeous cover, which should not, it really shouldn't be the only thing. And B, is the fact that everyone was like frothing at the mouth for this book. And they were like, oh my goodness, it's like Lord of the Rings. How? Oh my God, calm down. How? No. And then, so I was like, so everyone hyped it up like an insane amount. And I was like, wow. I was like really excited about that. But then, no, you liars. Sorry. Okay. That was harsh. You're allowed to like this book. If you like this book, it's a valid emotional experience. I literally just decided that I am not doing this anymore. So I'm in my emotions. Okay. I'm in my emotions. But I know when to DNF a book. And that is when I get to a scene where I'm like, that's stupid. And that's what just happened. And when I'm like, looking on Goodreads where I'm like, do I force myself through it? And everyone's like, like a large portion on Goodreads is like dragons, and they're like freaking out. And I'm like, okay. And then the people who disliked it dislike everything I dislike about it. Like the beginning is extremely slow. Apparently the end is way too fast. I'm like, no interest. So what am I going to read next to solve my emotional frustration over this failure of weeks of reading? I'm going to read Eon and Iona. Oh my goodness. These two books are from my childhood. I read these way back in middle school, and I remember loving them. I was like looking around at all of my books, and I was like, what do I read? And I was like, I want dragons. I wanted dragons. That was what I was hoping for. And yes, I do have Fourth Wing, and yes, I know there's dragons, but it's an incomplete series, and I'm not doing that right now. No. But these do have dragons. Not as much as I'm sure other books do, but this is my first exposure, I think, to dragons in like long chapter books, and I liked these. So I will be going back in time. I haven't read these for at least a decade, probably longer, honestly, and I'm excited to go back and read Eon. This main character, I mean, you can see her. That's our main character on the front. She's a boss. She's awesome. Oh my goodness, just look at her, okay? I don't usually like people on my front covers. She's amazing. She's what I was hoping the characters in this would be like. But I know I'm going to get it here, so this is what's happening next. All right, quick disclaimer. Again, if you loved this book, I'm so happy for you. I think that's great. Everyone should love literature. I can't do it for myself. It's a DNF, but if you loved it, keep reading, and good for you. And I'm actually genuinely happy for you, because if you're going to put yourself through 800 pages, I hope you liked this. I hope you loved this, because otherwise I'm so sorry for you. I'm also frustrated. All right, so that is my flashback or my crash out reaction to The Priory of the Orange Tree, and my first thoughts right after I decided that I was not going to be doing this book anymore. So there you go. But just a reminder, I will actually be reading Among the Burning Flowers because it's so short, and because I do want to give this author, after thinking about it for a couple of days, I have decided to give this author one more chance. Since this is so short, this is going to be really the biggest deciding factor for whether or not I'm going to continue with this author and read The Bone Season. We shall see. Till next time.